Hey all, good morning, good afternoon. Hope you are doing well. So, I'm also absolutely doing well. So, today in this class, we will talk about one very important topic, or you can say we will see the actual implementation of UiPath Maestro. And so far, whatever the concepts you have been learned in all the previous class, you can talk about UiPath Studio Web, Orchestrator, Storage Bucket, Autonomous Agent, and your Action Center, and the integration service, deployment. All these concepts together we will bring under one umbrella, that is called Maestro. Okay, so in the previous class you have also been seen how the Maestro looks like, how the BPN model work, what all are the different components are available in BPN model, and also we have created one dummy agentic workflow for employee leave request workflow, where we have built one agentic workflow diagram. Okay, but although we have not integrated with the definitions, but still you guys understood what are the different components, what are the gateways, what are the flows, how they are interlinked with each other, how you can add the comment. All such things you have learned in the previous class. Okay, but today in this class you will see how we will build the agentic workflow, okay, called account payable process. Okay, where we will use Maestro to design entire agentic workflow using BPN 2.0 model. Okay, and you will see the different components, how they are interlinked with each other, agent how we will take the decisions. All such things will be understood here. And definitely, so each and every task is connected to a definitions, or connected to a workflow, or can be a agent, or can be action center. Okay, so all these things we'll see together in this class. Okay, so before we will go to the class, these are the very basic prerequisites you should have in your system, then only you will able to do it. Okay, so point number one is you should have one cloud account. So the next step is you have to go to the product launcher, then go to here, you will go to the product launcher, you will see all the products available in UiPath Cloud. Okay, one of them is called Maestro, one UiPath Studio. Okay, so then the next step is, then next prerequisite is, okay, you should have access to the agent license. When I said agent license, you should have able to access the LLM models, or you can able to access these LLM models inside your UiPath Studio Web and Cloud. Okay, and you should have access to the orchestrator. So that is another component. And similarly for the integration service, so integration service will help you when you are integrating with third-party systems. Can be your email box, can be your OneDrive, Gmail box, or your Google Drive. And definitely you should have access to the orchestrator also, because in the orchestrator you have to deploy your package, and you can schedule it, and you can also create the storage bucket, and you can store the files and all the other things, right? So then robot account is definitely used, because agentic flow, when you is going to execute, indirectly it is going to execute the package with the help of robot and machines, right? So then apart from this, yes, that is very important. UiPath Studio Web should be enabled, and you should have personal automation set up inside your UiPath Studio. Okay, so that is the prerequisite you should have before you go ahead and design the agentic process. Now the problem statement, what exactly we are achieving here. So we are going to build one agent called account payable process. Okay, that account payable process will receive the invoice, okay, from the customer over the email. Then that invoice will be get it also verified with the purchase order. Okay, the purchase order also will be in the organization, that is going to be verified against the purchase order. Okay, once that is going to be verified by comparing the purchase order number, invoice number, amount, date of invoice, all these things will be verified. Once it is been verified, then it will go send to the manager for the approval. Okay, so once the manager will approve, then it will be get it approved, and the amount, the invoice will be settled. Then the email notification will go to the customers. This is one of the happy path. And the negative path is, if the manager is rejected, then definitely it will go to another flow, where it will be rejected, and it will communicate to the customers, because of this XYZ reasons your invoice has been rejected. Okay, apart from this also, sometime what will happen, suppose your invoice is not able to validate it, or not able to take a call, then it will send back to agent. It will send to the agent will evaluate the invoice and PO, and it will validate. Then if still that is not evaluated properly or validated properly by the agent, human will come to the loop, do the same set of activities, then it will send for the approval. If it is approved, manager will go ahead and approve, then the notification will go. If it is rejected, then the notification will go accordingly. Okay, so this is the entire process we are going to build in our Maestro, and we will going to build the agentic workflow. Okay, so now I will just explain each and everything in detail so that I can reach out to you. So I will give you all the supplements in the my GitHub link. You can just go ahead and download it. But here I will going to explain the concepts, explain how you are going to build it. You have to try it. Now if I'll open this flow I have been designed, so this is the diagram. You will able to see how it will be looks like. So if I'll zoom it, so then you will understand here. So if you see here, okay, so if you see here, okay, let me reduce it. Yeah, so if you see here, first of all, what is happening first of all? First of all, if you see here, one email, this is one of the start event. This start event is nothing but a receive email. So if you click on this event is nothing but, if you see here, this is nothing but a received event. Okay, so if you see here, you go down, if you see here, this is a received event. Let me just minimize, you will be able to see. Yeah, so if you see what kind of event, this is a received event. Okay, start event, intermediate event. Similarly, you will find received event here also. Okay, so if you go here, then go to the property, you will be able to understand. Okay, this is a email received event. Okay, this is a message start event. Okay, that message will come over the mail. Okay, so let's assume the customer has dropped an email along with the invoice. Okay, then immediately this start event will be triggered. Okay, so if I'll go to my mailbox called Microsoft, let me show you. So I have integrated with my Outlook account. Okay, so this is one of the invoice. You can see if you go to here, other, where is my inbox? Yeah, this is my invoice. Okay, so if make it mark as unread. Okay, this is my invoice. Let's assume I have dropped an email to the company to settle my invoice. Okay, then my email is came to my mailbox. Okay, along with the invoice. Okay, ending with 9325. Clear? So once the mail dropped came inside my inbox, immediately this event will trigger. Okay, once this event will trigger, then immediately it will send a signal to this task. What is this task talked about? This task is nothing but extract invoice info with due. Okay, so this task is a service task. Okay, and in this task, if you see here, I'm calling this particular workflow, and if you go to my agenda here, this is the workflow. First of all, I'm calling called get invoice detail, st_ap get invoice detail. So this is the workflow I'm calling here. Okay, it's nothing but here, these are the, you can they say the main flow, or you can say your diagrammatic representation of your agentic flow, but in backend is going to call to the workflow, call to your agent, call to your action center. So this task is responsible to call to this particular workflow called get invoice detail. Okay, so this get invoice detail will take two input. One is called sender email ID, and it will give these are the outputs. Okay, called invoice detail, invoice item, invoice PO number. So how that will be extracted from the mail, from the PDF file or the invoice, that I will show you here. So this is one of the definitions you will find here in this particular solutions. So if you see here in these solutions called account payable process solution, this is my workflow. Okay, this is one of the RPA workflow. So that's it. That's why the understanding of RPA workflow, understanding of your agent, all these are very very important before you come to your Maestro to build your agentic workflows. Okay, here if you see, I have two parameters. One is called, okay, let me see here, this is okay. Here if you see, these are the parameters, these are the input parameters, these are the local variables, careful. Okay, so this is the input parameter that is coming from the previous task. Okay, and you can say from the start event. Okay, then this email ID will go here. These are the output will return. So these are the steps written here, how to extract the invoice, how to extract the informations. This is the manual trigger, log message, then this is the workflow to get the email from the mailbox, and it will from the inbox folder, download the invoice, okay, set the variable to get the file name of the invoice file, then it will upload into the storage bucket, okay. So then it will now do all the operations. These are, you have to go through in detail. I am going to share all these workflows over the GitHub, okay. So now I'll back to my flow, actual flow. So my flow is here BPN process here, right? So here now this step is completed, okay. Then it will again go to this task called get PO detail, okay. This get PO detail, if you see here in this get PO detail, it is also a service task, and it is going to call to one workflow called AP underscore get PO details. But make sure that what kind of action you are performing, you have to select thoroughly. So if you are working on workflow, then you have to select start and wait for a RPO workflow. If you are working on any action center, then create action app task. Okay. If you are working on a agent, you are planning to call to agent, then you have to select start and wait for agent. So there are different options are there. Okay. So then it will call. Similarly, again it will going to call to a workflow called get this one, get PO details. Then here you will, as a result, what you will get the return, you will pass the input as a invoice number, okay. Then from invoice number which is coming from the invoice, okay. That's why it's written out underscore invoice PO number, okay. That will go as an input. Then it will return the output as PO detail, PO item, PO display file name, and all these details will be returned, okay. Then you have the invoice detail which is coming from the customer over the email, and you have the PO detail which is stored inside internal and inside your orchestrator storage bucket. Now you have to set up data. Now you have to do the matching, okay. So here another task, service task called no matching the invoice PO invoice and PO, okay. Invoice PO matching. Here also another workflow is going to call, and it will do the matching. Then once the matching will done, then it will take all these inputs from the invoice point of view or from the PO point of view. Then it will do the matching. Then it will return a boolean value. That boolean value, if the matching is correct, it will return true. If it is not, it will return false. Perfect. So then here it will come a gateway. Gateway is not just like a, you can say, is a cross. You have to take a call where you have to go. You want to go with left or you want to go with right, okay. So this is a cross, or you can say gateway, exclusive gateway. Here you have to, I have given this gateway name is called match, okay. Then the condition is, one is called match, one is called mismatch. If it is match, then okay, it will go for true, okay. If it is mismatch, then it will be a false, right, okay. Whatever the value coming from the previous workflow, that is going to check the condition here. Okay, so if it will match, then it will directly go to the manager for approval, where human will come to the loop. So this is the human will come to the loop. If you see here, this is a user task, and here if you see create action app, action is called create action app task. Then I'm calling to a human in the loop. So here you similarly will find that human in the loop called human validation. Okay, perfect. Now let's assume if it is not match, then it will go to agent, summarize guideline agent. So if you click on this, okay, this is a service task, but this is not a workflow. This is a agent calling, start and wait for the agent, and this is one of the agent, autonomous agent, okay. It will do the validation based on the content, based on the information, okay. It will do the validation. Then similarly again it will call to another agent called match invoice agent, okay. It will just do the matching, okay. Once it will validate, evaluate the information both from PO and invoice, it will then match, okay. If again it will come across, or the gateway called exclusive gateway, it will check if the match condition is match, then it will again go to the manager. If you see here, if the condition is match here, it will directly go to your manager for approval. If it is not matched, then it will call to another agent called investigate dependency agent. It will investigate based on the prompt, based on the tool context, user prompt, it will do the investigations, okay. I'll show you how it will be looks like. If you go to this agent, go to settings, you will see what is the name of the agent. This is a service task calling to a agent, start and wait for the agent. This is the investigate discrepancy agent. So if you go here and you go here, this is the agent. If you double click on it, you will find the agent here, okay. So you have to just select the model here. I lost it. Okay, here you will see this is the system prompt. These are the detail taking from the previous workflow: invoice name, invoice detail, PO detail, and all these things. Okay, these are the context and all is associated guidelines. You have to also associate the guidelines from the tools, right? So that I lost it, so I have to reassociate again. Okay, so how will I associate? First of all, you have to go here, okay, and go to your project file. I'm going to share with you all and everything to you. Expand this is the guideline. Okay, you have to upload that into a storage bucket. Okay, so what is the storage bucket? You have to go here and go to orchestrator. Then in the orchestrator you have to go to your, let it open, go to your shared folder, tenant. Then you have to go to shared folder. Okay, then you go to storage bucket. Okay, in the storage bucket you see these are the storage bucket, nothing but you have to just store the files, is a placeholder, you can say. Okay, so this is, if you see one of the storage bucket I am using called document storage, another is called AP_PO storage. There are a lot of storage, other storage for the other purpose, but these two storage I am using for my workflow, for my agentic workflow. So how will create the storage bucket? Click, go and create new storage bucket, or you can go to here. Let me check the storage bucket. Okay, so you can say here call invoice guideline, invoice. Okay, or I can say account payable, okay, files. Okay, I have created this, add this, then you file this. If I have any guidelines here, no, I don't have any guidelines. So I'll back, I will go to this storage bucket. I can upload the file here. Go to browse, go to your file, upload it. Okay, I have uploaded my guideline file into the storage bucket. Perfect. Now once you upload it, because agent can only access through index, so you have to create an index for this. So you go here, create an index. Okay, here you will find the index. Just create an index here called invoice guideline. Okay, and you can select storage bucket. Okay, if it is a simple file you can select basic. If you have some tabular format something, you can select advanced. Storage bucket file is, you can find shared folder. Storage bucket name is called, somewhere you will find, let me see what is I have written, AP files. Okay, then file type, if you want to put the restriction you can put it, or else fine, that's it. Okay, just click on save. So once you click on save, then you back to your agent. You can add this file here. That will be work like a context for your agent. Okay, just remove this. Okay, then you click on add context, you will file your context here. Okay, if you see here UiPath guidelines, sorry, invoice guidelines, right, you will find the context here. So this is how you have to add your context to your agent. So I would suggest, if you are not aware, please go through my previous class, you will be able to see it. Okay, now I'll back to the agentic workflow. Now the next step is it will validate your investigate dependency agent, then it will send to another agent is called discrepancy resolution agent. So that will be also available here. Discrepancy resolution agent, somewhere here you will find. Okay, so if you see RT resolution, it's not, this is just a naming and user understanding message you have given in the task, but actually it is going to call to that particular agent. Okay, that is called ST_resolution agent, this one. Okay, so then I'll back to the agentic workflow. That's it. Then let's assume all this thing is completed, then it will go for the resolution validation. So now, for example, your workflow is not able to do the validations, not able to do the matching of the invoice and PO, then it will be reject, it will go to the agent. Agent will do on behalf of your workflows. Okay, if it is a happy path, well and good. If it is not a happy path, then in that case your agent will start doing the evaluations. Okay, it will evaluate, it will investigate the discrepancy, it will resolve this, then it will finally send that to human for the validation. Human will come to the loop here. Okay, then finally, okay, human will come to the loop here. Okay, once human will come to the loop here, again it will come to a gateway. Again it will come to a gateway. Here, if is a happy path, directly it will come to the manager for the approval. If it is not a happy path, it will come via agent. Okay, then it will come to the manager for validation. Then the last part is, if any discrepancy is there, it will match the discrepancy, resolve the discrepancy, then it will get it approved by a human called resolution validator. Okay, validation. Then finally, both the things is go to either is a rejected by the manager, or it is approved by the manager, or is a resolution manager will maybe approve or reject, it will finally go to a gateway. So this is the gateway. In this gateway, if it is approved, then it will send a notification to the customers to get to settle the invoice. If it is reject, it will also send a notification to supplier. Okay, so this is how the entire process has been built. And if you go here, this is one of the tasks called service task, and here I am going to call to a workflow called send vendor notification, that is been stored here. Okay, so now for easy understanding, if you see here, I have put the comment everywhere. I have put the comment so that to avoid the confusions, here I have put the comment. These are called comments. So here if you see, this is called, okay, comments called, this is human. It means that this task is done by the human. Okay, similarly I have written these are agents. It means that this will be done by the agent. This is done by the human. This is done by the robot. Okay, or nothing but the workflow you can say. Okay, similarly these are the robot, nothing but the workflows. Okay, so this is the entire process. Okay, I have designed, okay, for you guys, okay, how you can build your agentic workflow using BPN 2.0 model, using different components of the BPN 2.0 model. Can be your event, your task, your gateways, your comments, your flows. Okay, and also by also integrating with different workflows, different agents, different action centers. Okay, and integration with different third-party services like your OneDrive, your email box, or your storage bucket, or all such things together. Okay, so what we will conclude from here, Maestro is one umbrella, or you can say one platform where I can orchestrate my business process. Okay, with the help of different components like workflow, like agent, like action center, integration service, all, and document understanding, reading the accessing the document from the storage bucket or any cloud systems like AWS or Azure. So all these things together we have orchestrated, okay, and very well manner we have designed that inside our Maestro using BPMN 2.0 model. Okay, so this is the entire orchestration of one of the account payable process, how that is going to be work, how all the systems are interlinked with each other and integrated, how that is seamlessly working on this, right? So that's it all about from the design perspective. Okay, now we will going to see how the execution will taken care. Okay, so when I will going to execute, how that is going to be happen. Okay, I'll show you one of the happy path execution. I will strongly recommend you have to do your negative path executions also. Then you will observe how that is very seamlessly handling your entire workflow by the agents. Okay, so and the last thing is I am going to share with you all these workflow files, agent files, and also I will share going to share with you the invoice, PO details, everything, and the guidelines and everything I'm going to share with you, which is stored inside this folder. Okay, this is the guidelines, this is the PO contract, this is the PO, this is the all these are the sample files of the invoice and the POs, and these are the workflows and agents. So everything I will going to share this complete file to you guys, so that you just follow the instructions and try to build from yourself inside your system. Definitely I am also going to share this agentic workflow also, so just for your reference. Okay, this is the process.bpmn, that is also I'm going to share it. Okay, now the next step is how we will going to execute it. To execute this, just you go and debug it here. Okay, once you click on debug, you will prompt with a solution reference debug information. So what exactly this is called, you have to provide the storage bucket. All these are the argument, you can just solution reference or the inputs you have to provide. If you want to change at the runtime, you can go ahead and change, or you can keep it as like same. Okay, so I am using, this is the storage bucket I'm using, this is the integration I'm using to connect to the Outlook. Okay, this is one of the GenAI activity I'm also using. Okay, click on save and debug. So once you click on save and debug, then immediately your execution will begin. Let me do a big screen for you. Okay, so if you see, the execution has been started. If you see the execution has been started, and you just keep your eye on the workflow, how the execution will take in place. Okay, so it will go to the mailbox and look for the mail which is coming from that particular sender, and it will look for the invoice. Okay, then it will extract the invoice. All these things will be go one after another. So but I am showing you that happy path. You have to try the no the negative path, and you will observe it and you let me know. Yeah. Okay, so if you see here, the execution's almost about to start, and you see here execution trail is started. Now you observe it here, email start event is triggered. It means that it read the email from the mailbox. Now it will start extracting the invoice from the mailbox. Okay, so let me hide these executions just for your understanding, or I'll minimize. Okay, so now you see it's extracted the information from the invoice from the mail. Now it will here your execution has been. Okay, and it will do on behalf of your workflows, behalf of you. Okay, and it will do it. Finally it will send for the approval here. Okay, this is now wait for human to interfere to approve it. So how we'll do this? Just select this. Let's assume I am the approver. Select this, scroll down and select this. You will find the task. Okay, click on open app task. It will open the action center. Okay, so it will open the action center. So if you see, the action center is going to open. Okay, once the action center will be open, okay, then you have to assign this task to yourself. First of all, to complete this task you have to assign to yourself. So I have assigned that to myself. Okay, I have assigned this to myself. Okay, so it's coming blank, that I have to need to check why it is coming blank, or I have to redesign this app action center. Just for the time being you can ignore this. Let's assume your data is coming perfectly, you, all is looks okay to you. Okay, then what you have to do, you have to just go ahead and submit it, put the feedback comment and submit it, and you click on complete. Then immediately back to your agentic workflow. Now if you see here, so now the execution immediately it will be go see completed, and it will be immediately go to your approval process. Now if you see, it's going to the approval process. Once it is approved, again it will come to the gateway, take a call. Is it approved by the manager or it is rejected by the manager? No, it is approved by the manager. Then immediately it will trigger a notification to the customer. Okay, this task is nothing but is going to trigger an email to the customers. Now the time we will validate that, are we getting the email in my mailbox? Okay, yes. If it is reject, yes, definitely it will also trigger an email to the customer saying that your invoice is not settled because of XYZ reasons and all. Okay, now I'll go to my mailbox. This is my mailbox. Okay, and if you see, this is the input invoice I have sent to the organization to validate, to settle my invoice against the PO. Okay, now I'll go to inbox. Okay, in inbox I didn't find. Okay, I'll go to other, I didn't find from here also. Then I will go to the junk email. Let's see. So if you see, in the junk email I got time is 10:55 a.m. and my current time is also 10:56 a.m. Okay, 2nd of April. Now if you see, the mail came from the agent. Now if you open this, okay, you will see this. This is the email came from agent to this email ID. This is the customers, this is the organization sender. Okay, and this is the invoice, and this is the invoice number, and payment processing initiated. Dear vendor, this email confirm that your recent invoice submission has been accepted and is now being processed for the payment. So this is very nice, very interesting, right? So this is how you have to build your agentic workflow, okay, to automate and to orchestrate your day-to-day job or day-to-day use case, to autonomously to perform the task without any manual intervention, except where you feel that humans should be in the loop. Just go ahead and do this. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Keep learning, never stop learning.